Hi, Moss here, and I have the Noontec Zoro 2 wireless headphones, which I previously reviewed the non-wireless version. I was quite impressed with the sound quality for the price. Now they've gone down actually in price, down to under $60 on the Amazon store in the US, so that makes them even more of a bargain. And well, that says a lot, about inexpensive headphones, the sound quality improving considerably. So this time Noontec have sent me the wireless version. And we'll go over the features again for if you haven't seen my other video. They use a high quality, well, they reckon high quality driver. And if we look inside the features, there are this very small text. That's the only, I don't know why. I don't know if you can read it on the video. Adjustable headband, of course. They use a protein cotton material for the earpads. I believe, if I remember rightly, it is tuned to how good frequency response. They're steel reinforced, and they use a clip system for folding. It clicks in and out, which I'll show you. And I asked Noontec about this, and they reckon that it's good for clicking in and out many thousands of times, so it should last you a few years easily, even if you click them about once or twice a day. And of course, they fold. And usually other ones come with a case, and I presume these ones do. They have a nice piano crafting varnish, which is very nice. And of course, being wireless this time, they have a basic set of instructions on the packaging. So there's nothing else really exciting on there. So let's open them up. So I've got my good old trusty retractable knife. And so now this is going to be quite a challenge to try these out, because I just reviewed the Sony wireless headphones, which are more expensive. These are of course just over about $100. It's about $110 odd, whereas the Sonys were over $350. So, but the Sonys were very impressive, and I hope these will be impressive as well, because inexpensive wireless earphones, now the airlines are allowing people to use, or at least here in Japan, they allow people to use Bluetooth headphones from, even during takeoff, then they're going to become more popular. So the headphones themselves, let me go through the accessories first. They come with, going from the bottom up, we have a pouch, which is a fairly basic thing, looks like the same kind of thing as came with the Noontec Zoros, which is just a basic drawstring thing with a kind of rubbery-ish material. They come with a cable, looks like the same kind of thing as the Zoro 2s did. It has a 4-pole plug on one end, and that goes into your smartphone, and a 3-pole plug on the other that goes into the headphones. And a button for, I guess, possibly with a microphone for using as a hands-free. And in this case, because they're wireless, it looks like they come with a USB charging cable, micro USB, as is pretty common. Now the headphones themselves, they fold out thus. Now if you want to have a look, if you haven't seen my other video, the catches themselves are these two little nodules on here, which are part of the headband. Now Noontec assured me that they've been tested to tens of thousands of iterations, so they should last for, I calculated roughly about a good 5 years of maybe unfolding them and folding them, say, once or twice a day. And this headband is, once we snap them in place, is steel reinforced, so there should be enough robustness in there. I don't know if there's any steel reinforcing in here, but they seem to be reasonable enough that even if you've got a fairly large head, it should be comfortable. And probably, if you're going to be putting them in a bag, you're probably going to be folding them up, so that's going to take any pressure off the headband. They're very light, so they have actually quite generous padding considering how light they are. The earpads are very soft, and they were comfortable when I tried them on the Zoro 2, so I expect this is the same deal with they're synthetic, but to check what the box specifically says, they describe them as, if I just grab it here, a protein cotton material. So there's enough flexibility in the in movement, so it should be able to fit comfortably. They did with me. I haven't heard any complaints, so I'll leave it at that. And of course they have the piano varnish finish, which makes them kind of shiny, attractive, and big fingerprint magnets. Now connecting them up, I gather they can connect via NFC, and unfortunately I don't have the Sony player here which I could test that with anymore, and I don't have an Android smartphone, so I gather you just bring it up close and it will pair automatically. Otherwise, you just have to select Bluetooth on your device and find the device and hit pairing. Now, the Noontec Zoro 2s had a 3.5mm port. These have that as well, so I guess they can be used in wired mode, which I'll check out later, and the micro USB port for charging. Now the buttons look quite interesting. Here, what seems to be have a plus and forward, and minus and back. So I don't know how combining those is going to work. I'll have to try that out. That looks a bit interesting. The other side, this doesn't look like buttons. I actually pulled this out before, and they're lights. So if I press this button, which has got play and phone on here, there we go, power on, and it's flashing for pairing. And I got these lights somehow to light up before. I'm not sure how that happened, but we'll investigate that more closely and get it running and have a listen. Anyway, that's the headphones themselves, and the next thing to do is to check out the controls. So I had a look at how they worked, and this is the deal. Pressing and holding the power button will give you headset connected. So then while pressing the play button briefly should give us, there we go, a bit of sound coming out there. And then if we hit the plus button, we get volume up, and minus gives us volume down, but holding the forward button gives us the next track. So that's the basic deal. Fairly straightforward, I reckon. So now we need to get on to the sound. So I had a listen with the Noontec Zoro 2 wireless, and I was pretty impressed. Much the same as with the Noontec Zoro 2 wired version, the sound is pretty even. It's a little bit warm of neutral with slightly emphasized bass and slightly rolled off treble, but at moderate listening levels, no major harshness to speak of. Nothing particularly troublesome in the treble, nothing particularly troublesome in the mid-range, and the bass had enough punch, when it was required. I listen at moderate listening levels, and of course with a cheap pair of headphones like these and the inexpensive materials, when you turn them up loud, you're going to get some distortion, so I don't recommend listening loud with them. For that you need kind of better built headphones. However, at my moderate listening levels using the wireless, which I did using aptX from my iMac, the sound was actually pretty pleasant. What was great about them too is when I went to wired mode and plugged them into my iPhone or something else, that the sound stayed equally good. And I've had, as I may have seen before, some headphones here that sounded completely different wireless and wired. And the good thing was that the Noontec Zoro 2 sounded pretty much the same. Isolation-wise, they aren't particularly that good. I mean, you do put them on your ears, you do get some sound blocked out, but not really a great deal. I mean, you can still hear a lot of what's going on around you. So I wouldn't take them into a really noisy environment like on an airplane or public transport for preference. Where I reckon they're best suited is, say, in front of a computer, or at home at work, or at school, or sitting in a library, that kind of thing, where there isn't that much noise, but where you want something light and relaxing for casual listening. And that's because with this nice padding, very lightweight, they are very comfortable to listen with for long periods, especially if you're like me and you only listen at moderate levels. And in that regard, once you finish, just quickly fold them up and chuck them in your bag. And if you do care about that kind of thing, they are quite attractive with this nice piano varnish style finish, and they don't really look that cheap. You can look up close and they look kind of basic, but I reckon they look pretty nice as they go. So as far as under $150 headphones are concerned, if you're in the market for a pair of wireless headphones, these should definitely be on your shopping list. I reckon if I was in that kind of situation and I wanted something for casual listening, much as I listen casually, sitting in my car driving to or from work, I'd probably go for something like this. They're basic to the job, and if the battery does run out, you can just plug them in and they sound fine. So I hope you liked the video once again. If you do have any questions, please do add them, write a comment, and I hope if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, as you'll be notified when I have a video in the future. And also, if you did like the video, please click the thumbs up button. And I'll see you online.